So in this section, we are going to start talking about the order of operations. The order of operations is going to be important because if we do not follow the appropriate order of operations, we're going to get two different numbers. So let's take a look at this first example. It says, evaluate by performing the addition first. So what we're going to do is add these two numbers first. So we're going to end up with 12 minus 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. So when we do this, we are going to end up with 12 minus 5 equals 7. Now let's evaluate by performing the subtraction first. So this time we're going to subtract and then add the 3. So 12 minus 2 is going to give us 10 plus 3. 10 plus 3 is 13. We can see that these two numbers are definitely not the same. So that's why we need to use the order of operations, and let's see what that says. So some of us might remember it as PEMDAS, some of us might remember it as please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Whatever helps you remember, no matter what you do, it is going to be working within the parentheses or other grouping symbols first. So other grouping symbols might be brackets, they might be curly brackets, but the most common are the parentheses. After working what's inside the parentheses or grouping symbols, you are going to be evaluating the exponents. After evaluating the exponents, do the multiplication and division from left to right. So some people say, oh, you should do division first. No, that is not the case. You have to perform them left to right. And then finally perform addition and subtraction from left to right. So let's look at these two examples. This should look pretty familiar. What we're doing here is exactly what we did in the example above, only we're using the grouping symbols to say we're going to be performing the addition first. So let's do that. So 12 minus 5 is going to give us our 7, just like we had before. Now in this one, we're simply going to perform the order of operations, which states we are going to perform addition and subtraction from left to right. So we're going to start at the left, and we're going to do 12 minus 2 first. And that is going to yield 13. So it is still possible to get two different numbers. It's just that we use these grouping symbols to determine how we want these to add up. I also wanted to show you, you may be familiar already, but there are several ways that we can look at multiplication. I think in our earliest years, we used the X symbol right here. In this course, we're most likely either going to be using the dots or the parentheses to talk about multiplication, just because later on we're going to be working with variables and X may be a variable, and I just don't want it to be confusing for anybody. So it's either going to be the dots or the parentheses. One exception is when we're talking about scientific and engineering notation in the next unit. We'll talk about that more then. So with that, I would like you to stop here and work on these student-led examples and see how you do.